We're about to begin the services for Sara D. Glaser. I would ask if you have a cellular device to please turn it to the off position. Officiating our service today will be Rabbi Shlomo Tenenbaum.
First of all, thank everyone for being here. And before we start, I want to thank Chicago Jewish Funerals, who pulled out a lot of stops to help us make this funeral today. They somehow couldn't control the weather, but all the other elements, they were wonderful. So thank you. There's a custom when you come to the cemetery to say a blessing. So we usually start the service with this blessing. It's Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher yatzar eschem b'din v'zon v'chilkal eschem b'din v'hemis eschem b'din v'yodea mispar kulchem b'din v'osed hachiyoschem l'kaim eschem b'din Baruch atah Adonai mechayei hamesim. It says, blessed is God, King of the universe, who gives us a life with a purpose, nourishes and sustains us with a purpose, and takes us back with a purpose. God knows the sum total and what our purpose is, and God will restore and resuscitate us with a purpose. Blessed is God who resuscitates the dead. It's a fundamental Jewish belief that the body is temporary, but the soul is a spark of God and eternal. So we're saying a temporary goodbye to our dear Sarah. It's customary to say the 23rd Psalm, so I'm going to say it in Hebrew and then read it together in English. Mizmor LeDavid Adonai Roi Lo Echsar Benos Desha Yarbitzeni Amei Menuchos Yina'aleni Nafshi Yeshoive Yadcheni V'Aglei Tzedek L'man Shemo Gam Ki Elech V'Geit Salmavos Lo Iro Ra Ki Ato Imodi Shivtachu Mishantecha Hemi Yinachamuni Ataroch L'fonai Shulchan Neged Soror Dishanta B'Shem and Roshi Kosi Revaya Ach Toy V'Chesed Yurdefuni Kol Yemei Chayai V'Shavti B'Beis Adonai L'Orach Yomim. Okay, if you open up the folder, we could read together the 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointed my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
Yeah. I'll do it. All right, Dee Dee will do it.
Okay. Yeah, I would.
It's just brief.
Okay. I always like to encourage the family to say a few words.
Well, I didn't have to go one more.
Those are the best. That's the best speeches. Unprepared.
I mean, in my head, I had a lot, but okay.
It's just one page.
Right into the mic now. You got it, ma'am. I like that. Thank you all for being here for Sarah. My name is Dee Dee Glaser. I'm with Stuart and my kids. And it's a sad day. Thank you all for being here today. We gather here not just to say goodbye, but to honor someone we loved, someone whose spirit left an imprint on us. Today we lay Sarah. We carry both grief and gratitude in our hearts. Sarah lived with much love for her family, love for her friends, and also for the animals who brought her comfort, companionship, and joy. Her bond with her dog, Ginger, was something truly special, to which we found a great place that's going to find a home for her dog. We took care of that, so that part's good. Ginger wasn't just a pet; she was a fan, always by her always by her side, a constant source of warmth, loyalty, and laughter. And of course, her cat, independent, mischievous, and just as adored. She for them the way she cared for people. She cared for them the way she cared for people, with gentleness, compassion, and affection. It was part of her magic. That soft, quiet, that loved, that didn't ask for attention but filled with space that she was in. As we stand here today, we are reminded not only of what we lost, but what we have been given, the time we had with her, the memories she left us, and the love that remains. She taught us how to care deeply, how to show up for others, and how to find joy in simple moments. Whether it was a long walk with Ginger or a quiet evening at home or a warm laugh, but Sarah was funny as far as I'm concerned. She was hilarious and laughed with someone through our hearts. Though our hearts ache, we take comfort in knowing that love like hers does not end here. It stays with us in the stories we tell, the way we treat others, and the moments we pause and feel her presence still near. Goodbye for now, Sarah. You will truly be missed.
I got cut off on some edges. That was the printer was a little funky there.
So that's it. God bless Sarah. Thank you.
I got you.
Sarah's my oldest friend. This could have taken an hour. I did my best. It's more so from me to her than to everybody else. From the JCC to the parks, to the neighborhoods, to my parents' home, to your parents' home, to walking, and walking, to hitchhiking, to driving, to high school, to the boys, to the young men, to the men, to the marriages, to Sydney being born. And yes, you're welcome. I took one for the team on that. To the losses, to the life at times moving us in different directions. There's always been Sarah. And there's always been Laura. There has always been our unconditional yet judgmental friendship. No one ever gave me those things other than you. Sarah, know that every time I smell a fruity perfume, I will roll my eyes. Every time I throw my purse on the floor, I will laugh and think of you. Every time I see a black cat, I will scare it. I will not put the car in reverse and back up down a city street. Every thought I have of my life for the last 50 years will include you one way or the other. Every smile, laugh, and tear I shed for the rest of my time will include you one way or the other. And lastly, I promise every time I hear Seals and Crofts' Diamond Girl, I will dance.
Thank you, Laura.
If anybody else wanted to share a few words.
We used to work together.
Okay. Okay.
We all know Sarah. Most of the people here, we all grew up. She had her good days. She had her bad days. But she always loved her big brothers. And we were always there to help her. When we were young, there was nothing we wouldn't do for her. She was a good little sister. And I will miss her. We all loved her. Not always liked her. There were times where there was always, and she was feisty. Everybody knew her. She was a beast. But let me tell you, she was my little sister. And I will miss her. Sei gesund, Sarah. Sarah, we will see you again.
Let me share a little of my history. My history goes back to Phil, and Phil and I were very close, and we used to call each other brothers. And when I met Sarah, she became a sister. Phil, I did Phil's funeral. Phil, he took in a client of mine, and he kind of mentored him and took care of him. And he was in my office every day for a number of years. And both him and the guy he was taking care of were larger than life. And I remember I used to always feel like I was in like a scene in that Roger Rabbit movie where there was like these like larger than life colorful characters around me. They were like nobody I ever met before until I met Sarah, who made them. They were like a bottle of Valium next to Sarah. And if I had to pick a cartoon character that it would have been, it had to be the Tasmanian Devil. She was she was so intense. Now I'm not sure everybody had the same kind of interactions with her like I did. Beth and I had a number of interactions, and I want to take a second out to thank Beth, who helped also this whole funeral come together.
You're very welcome. Dee Dee, right?
Yes. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good to see you. Good.
Good. I'm fine.
And a while back, Beth can verify all this. There was an issue between a landlord and Sarah, and I somehow got sucked into this crazy vortex.
Don't blame me. I was just the needed man.
And there were periods of time I was talking to Sarah every day of the week, and we said sometimes after a 5-minute conversation I needed an 8-hour nap because she was just so intense. But I really loved her. She was hysterically funny. Yeah. I was never sure if it was intentional or not, but she cut through to the heart of every issue with no filter. So
She was just hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, I laughed so hard.
I laughed all the time.
Yeah. And she was, and she had this pretty tough exterior. She was maybe the toughest person I ever met. At the same time, once you got to know her, she was so sweet, and she was really more vulnerable, but she had that tough exterior to kind of manage the tough, the mean streets that she occupied sometimes. And like I said, from the time I met her, like I said, which was initially through Phil, and then we developed a little deeper connection as time went on after we lost Phil. She would take a bullet for you, first of all, there is no more loyal friend you could have in the world, and like I said, she was just larger than life, and it's very. As I do a lot of funerals, it's very hard to say goodbye to somebody who's larger than life. Now, somebody was like laying, for a year in a sick bed, they were kind of half there on the way. But, she was just a dynamic life force.
She never stopped.
And never stopped, yeah. And literally, I can't think of anybody I know that was quite like her. So I think we're all going to miss her terribly. And ran with just a ridiculous story that I just one of many. She once saw me on the street, so she pulls the car over and we start schmoozing, and she's like stuck right in the middle of Arthur Street. So first there's one guy waiting, and she's outside the car talking to me. Then a second guy, then there's a third guy, and and they start honking, and strong language ensues in both directions. So finally she gets in the car, and she drives 1 mile an hour with all these guys behind her, and if they were angry before, this took the cake. I didn't even know a car could go that slow, but she was just a character's character, and but all of us loved her, and we're fortunate to have her in our life. There will be no substitute for Sarah in our lives. So her memory should be a blessing. And I think now we'll lower the casket. Yeah, while they're lowering the casket, if the three of you would stand up, we'll say it, and we'll tear the ribbon. Sure.
Yeah, because they can't imagine bless you.
Showing your reminds me It's a good She's resting. She's not resting. She's having a good time. She is. I mean, it was a tough situation. I went to go see her.
It's a much quicker process. Yeah.
Nathan, I think they're going to bring the equipment over here. I think they're going to come. Friends,
I think they're going to bring the equipment right here. So just make
Where should I go?
Go on this side. Yeah. Go right there.
I asked once.
Yeah, I'll clear them off the simplest.
I could see that. There's a lot of articles about Phillip A. Yes,
Dave, watch yourself.
Never walk under a blue low.
It's customary to put a couple of shovels of earth in the grave to pay our last respects. The custom is also to put the first shovelful upside down and put the shovel back in the dirt when you're done, and don't hand it to the next person.
Family will go first, please. Stuart, you want to come on this side? Yeah. I'm going to ask everyone to please be careful around the grave. Family will go first, and then everyone else will have the opportunity to participate.
Oh. Yeah. Your sister. No, really? No. It's something I know. No. Can you look from both sides? Please. Yeah, one.
If anybody wants to participate, the shovel over on the other side also. Just watch your step.
I'm retired now. Yeah. I'll get pull me back here. Yeah, I'll get pull me back here. So they don't know what the show is. Exactly. When trucks pull up, says we're unloading you. Go down. Go down there. No. I know. I'm saying go down. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's muddy, doing it. Whatever you want. Oh, no. That's right.
You just lay it down there.
Shoot. Especially because it's... Yeah. You don't know.
No, I'm going to stay right next to you. Got it? Yeah, don't let me fall.
That's 5 times already in the span of an hour. Yeah.
You're pretty used to carrying this.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay there?
Still in one piece. The millions are still there, I believe. Friends, if anyone else would like to help to cover, you're more than welcome at this time.
Okay.
Don't do that. You're not going anywhere. You don't need that. Again, here. Okay, you gotta leave it upside down. Good job.
Is anybody else waiting to participate? Rabbi, with your permission, we're going to go ahead and cover with the sheet.
There's a few more.
Friends, the operator of the equipment is going to cover in just a moment, so I'm going to ask everybody to please give as much room as possible.
You're like, oh.
My buddy, we talk all the time.
We've been doing a lot of stuff. I have
Man, we can just leave it right on the mount.
Sure. Throw something
Move this out of the way. Want me to move it?
Okay, I'm gonna ask everybody to come around over here. We're gonna end the service with three things, right? The Hail Mole prayer, which I'll do in Hebrew and English, then
Well, that's a good thing. Family.
brothers sing Kaddish together. And then there's something called the Stuart. Line up and say condolences. Anybody with the ribbon?
Dave, can you send Dave over?
Hey, Uncle David.
David.
Dave.
Oh, I know you are. Thank you.
We'll do the Hail Mole. Hail Mole Rachamim, Shochein Bamromim, Amtei Menucha Nechona, Confeshina, Malos Kedoshim Torim, Kezoyer Harokim Azkirim Es Nishmat, Sora Devorah Bas Moshe, Yaakov Chaim, Shalfal Olam Ovavor, Shachim Mispalim Mad Hasfarat Nishmasa, Techein Balarachamim, Yastireha V'Seisur, Kanafal Olamim, Yitzra V'Svara Chaim, Es Nishmasa, Adonai Unachlosa, V'Sanuach Al Mishkava, V'Shalom, V'Nomar Amen. God, full of mercy, who dwells on high, grant proper rest to the sheltering wings of your divine presence, to the highest levels of holy and pure ones, who shine like the brightness of the heaven, to Sarah, who is gone to her world and for whom we will pray. May her resting place be in the Garden of Eden. Therefore, may the Master of Mercy shelter her in the shelter of his wings for eternity. May he bind her soul in the everlasting bond of life. God is her heritage. May she repose in peace in a resting place. And let us say Amen. Okay, so we'll say the Kaddish. Okay. Yiskadal, Yiskadash, May Rabbah, Yalma, Dibra, Kirute, Nali Fakute, Chaye Chom, Beit Yisrael, Bagalav, Yismaz, Riv, and Ruamein, Yehei, Shmei, Rav, Borach, Elam, Elmaya, Yivarach, Yishtabach, Yivar, Rami, Naseh, Itadar, Italev, Italosh, Shmei, Kushab, Rilfu, Laila, Min, Kabir, Chatav, Shirata, Tush, Vachatav, Nechmatav, Damir, Ramav, Yimu, Amen. Yehei, Shlom, Rabba, Min, Shemaya, V'chayim, Aleinu, Yalkal, Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Shalom, Yasa, Shalom, Aleinu, Yalkal, Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Okay, and we're going to end the service with something called Shura. We're going to ask everyone who's not wearing a ribbon to line up over here.
Next, I'll be in my car. You trying to tell me something? All right, I think you're good, love. You're really good.
Thank you all for coming.
May God bless you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. I don't.
I didn't knock the flower over.
It's like so much. Thank you. All of you. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Bill, you were the greatest. Thanks for all your help.
That's Danielle. That's Stephanie.